All right, everybody has
Yay!
podcast notes open as well.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do.
No, but once we press record, I'll open it.
All right, well, it's open. So hey, Internet, we are live. We are back. We are going to do another podcast. So this is your little pre-show for Super NovaCast episode number 23.
Guys.
Before we jump into the official recording of everything, it's good to be back. Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Are we all ready to go?
I am
so.
ready.
All right, so we're going to start recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey Nova Gamers, it's Austin here, and you're here for Super NovaCast episode number 23 on the week of May 19th, 2014. I'm here with the returning Super NovaCast crew. We've got Mr. Dave Hines.
Woo! Hey.
John Hocko.
What up?
And Mark Devitt.
Hey, hey.
Mark is still remote in the field of Mars, reporting
I
back to
am.
the Maritimes.
I am.
Good to hear from you, Mark.
There's an alien!
I'm not surprised.
I'm alive.
That surprises me. So it's been a little bit. It's been about a month since we've had a podcast. We have a bit of catching up to do. Dave, why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
What I've been playing? Well, with my new job, I work like 50 hours a week, so it's a little bit more difficult to, or 60 hour week, 60 hours a week actually.
Oh.
I know that's nothing compared to our field agent that lives on Mars, so
Yeah.
I jumped into Reaper of Souls probably, I don't know, I'll say like a week ago. Actually jumped into it. I know Austin and you have been playing a little bit.
right.
Diablo 3 is fun.
Isn't it, though?
I was massively into Diablo 2, and then I bought Diablo 3 for no reason. And didn't
I got
really
it for
play
free
a
for
whole
playing
lot.
Warcraft. So,
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't do a whole lot of Warcraft except for 1 month, so I had no real reason to buy Diablo 3. I didn't play it a whole lot, but now I don't play Dota as much. I wasn't playing Hearthstone as much, and I decided to jump into Reaper of Souls. So that's really, really fun with the whole adventure mode thing. The rifts, it's still the same thing. It's still grinding, but it's different at least. It doesn't always feel like you're going through the same hallway, doing the same thing, killing the same boss. So it feels
it's
a little-
grinding with style.
Yeah, it feels like I'm grinding at a club.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's been fun. I know.
Wait. I want to expound on that point. Hold on. You're not going to walk away from that easily.
Come on, guys. Last time it was sad hands. This time it's this.
How often do you go to, say, the club, and you light the roof on fire with your war scream and then grind up on some demons?
So
I'm guessing more often than not.
sometimes on
This is-
Friday
this is
nights when I'm in the club, I
Duh Club. This means he's a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
no, it's actually really fun, and I can see me playing a fair amount more of it. They're having like their anniversary thing until I think next Thursday, so it's like 100% extra legendary BS drops and double nonsense. So
Mm.
all that fun stuff that I feel really nerdy talking about now, and I feel like somebody who only talks about that.
I'd like to talk about that for a second. They've upped the drop rates, but you're still getting the same ratio of crappy legendaries to decent legendaries. You're just
Yep.
getting them twice as fast.
I was looking at that, and apparently, I don't know if this is true, your magic find helps you roll when you get a legendary. I don't know if that's true, but like, say you have like 50% magic find or whatever, it's gonna make the stats, or supposedly make the stats better when you roll, when you identify them. That could be shenanigans or not, but I mean, I noticed it today. I got 5, and Austin, from my experience, I get about 1 a month, and Austin gets about 25 every hour that he plays. So,
Yep.
I've gotten a lot more. But I mean, it's been fun. The other thing I've been playing is more Hearthstone. Way into Hearthstone still. And that's just been a blast, just doing the right thing. I don't do a whole lot of arena anymore. I do mostly ranked, but
I'm getting dangerously addicted to Hearthstone.
I'm not allowed to get an. I'm not allowing myself to get an iPad because I know if I get it, I'll play it at work, and I will play it while I'm in bed instead of just going to sleep like a person should.
I missed my bus
And
stop because
then-
of Hearthstone.
Ooh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not good.
I had to walk for 20 minutes.
Oh.
I'm not allowed to have an iPad at work, which is good because I just play Hearthstone all day.
Yeah.
I'll take your iPad if you want.
No, I need that for reasons.
Shouldn't you have a playbook?
I do. I have two playbooks.
God dang
You know
it.
what's
I have
funny?
Wow.
Mark, you know what's funny about playbooks? That company is absolutely making great products. So you should be nicer about that.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah.
apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Hearthstone's been really fun. It's interesting now that like everything's settled down from the patch, so like I'm not seeing the same 2-3 decks played by everybody. Some classes that were never played last season are actually still coming back. So it's interesting to see like different cards that were never used before be used now, and yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been up to for the past 2 weeks.
Nice.
Cool. So Mark, take us down your rabbit hole of gaming. I think I have an idea.
Yeah, well, it's also been a lot of Hearthstone and Diablo 3, but I just picked up the latest Titanfall expansion.
Okay.
I've been playing a ton of that.
How's the expansion?
It's nice. It doesn't add very much new. It's like $9. You get 3 maps. The 3 maps are, I can't remember. Let's say Runoff, which was sort of an experiment that the developers did with. I was reading their blog on this, and it's a long, narrow level with multiple elevations, and then the base is sort of a long, empty channel that Titans can run up and down. So the Titans are stuck on the bottom floor, but then the guys can get on the bottom floor, the mid floor, up along the catwalks, and up along the roof. So it's actually it's a very difficult map to navigate. You can get bottlenecked pretty quickly as a Titan. Second map is called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's essentially, it just looks like a scene out of Avatar. You're in a big forest, lots of ruins. You can climb and jump off of anything, so it gives you a lot of mobility, a lot of cover. And it's not so...
Can you fly on giant birds?
No, but you can shoot them. So.
Are you blue?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's first person.
Do you have long hair?
Yes. And I connect with my Titan by putting my ponytail into it.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Good lord.
But yeah, it's really
is that Swampland, Mark?
Yes, Swampland. There we go. That level's really cool again because the other levels you can kind of see the path that the developers wanted you to take, but this one it's just trees everywhere, so you can run and jump between everything. Kind of neat. Really misty. If you're trying to snipe or do any of the sniping challenges, you might as well just forget it because you put on an overpowered scope and you can't see like 4 feet in front of you. So
okay.
Yeah, and then the third is War Games. It's just a simulation, and it's kind of neat because it's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like half of the level is modern, and then the other half is like this rundown slum, and it's like the modern level is trying to like wall print over the slum, but it's glitching out because it's all just a in-game simulation. So you see like little graphical errors everywhere. There's a massive pit in the center, which makes it interesting because if you get into a Titan fight right by the pit and you time a punch properly, you can knock them down into it on the same note. If you're trying to avoid them, you could fall down into the pit several thousand times. Again, there's nothing really. That's just it, though. It's just the 3 maps. I heard rumors that there'd be a new story mode, new campaign mode, new game modes, but it's just the maps for now.
Does the War Games does it look like the tutorial level?
Yes. Yeah. Everything's all shiny except for the area where the glitching is happening.
Okay.
And it's neat. Whenever you kill someone, instead of them dying, they just sort of like matrix out in front of you. So. Neat little spin, and still the same game. What?
And that's
that's supposed to happen. Either that or it's just a massive glitch.
See, that's where they did the smart thing. They're like, if we make a level that's called the glitch, then if it actually glitches, nobody will know.
Nobody will notice. I was having this conversation with some of the guys I was playing with last night, and there are a lot of exploits that are being, taken advantage of. Walking through walls, getting trapped up high in the level. I mean, it's to be expected when you can wall run and jump anywhere, and then on top of that, you punch out of your Titan and go like thousands of feet in the air. It's difficult to
You can't
difficult to
necessarily
catch them all.
cast a lot of that stuff. It's got to be, you got to see it broken by the public because they're going to get
Yeah.
everywhere, right? Yeah.
Exactly. There was one strange glitch I ran into, and if I spoke about this already, I'm sorry, but I recorded this because it really bothered me. Corey and I were playing, and thanks to the Xbox record feature, I was able to go back and watch this. I was unloading a clip into the back of this guy. I finished an entire clip, and Corey was shooting him from the front. This guy ran, shot Corey, and turned around. Meanwhile, I was on clip number 4. Still trying to take him down, and he turned around and then meleeed me. No leg.
That seems legit.
Not quite sure what was going on there, but there are a few hacks out there. You see a few people that have hit level 50 generation 10, so that's prestiging 10 times, and they have 2 or 3 hours played. So, gotta kind of wonder what's going on there.
Well, Call of Duty, Halo, all those games that have those rank systems, they've all seemed to have that hack where people just prestige all the way through. Doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
What's the point? I don't get it.
To piss off people like you. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're worse than I am.
Yep. But they're ranked higher than you are.
Yeah, but they're ranked higher.
There we go.
They make more internet money.
It's just like real life. So, yeah, that's what I've been playing.
All right.
That's about that.
I'm still out on the Titanfall thing, but I think eventually I will buy in.
It's a lot of fun. It's one of the better first-person shooters I've played.
Well, if I successfully join Mark in the field and be the second Nova gamer in the field, then I will have a little more cash to buy things like.
You won't have more gaming time though. 60 hours. I work 84.
Yeah, but at least I'll at least I'll be able to afford something.
Yeah.
No, that's that.
Speaking of affording things, John, I'm curious about your free-to-play castle.
Oh. Anyways, we started. I think since the last podcast, I put out, I think 3 videos, maybe 4, probably 4. Let's go with 4. Anyways, I got 4 new castle designs out there. They all basically they changed one big part of the game that was like the part of the game for defending your castle.
And this is just confirming for anybody who's new to the podcast, this is Mighty Quest for Epic Loot we're talking about.
Mighty Quest for Epic Loot.
Yeah.
So we do castle defense videos, and you can check those out to see all of our previous ones, but I will let you know now, anything that involves a fire mine, don't look at that castle design, because they just put out a new patch probably about a week and a half ago, and it destroyed fire mines. Because the way it worked before is glue mines and corrosion mines were if they were like this big. Oh, where's the camera? There we go. If they were like this big in the explosion radius, the fire mines were like this big.
Okay.
So what people were doing was they were dropping a whole row, and myself included, because it was the best way to defend your castle. They were dropping like big 9x9 squares of these fire mines. So when somebody landed in them and they blew up, you weren't only getting blown up by one fire mine, which is supposed to do 900 damage, but you were getting blown up by all the ones around it too, because their blast radius was so big.
Okay.
So when you landed in, you, instead of getting hit by 1 or 2 mines, you were getting hit by like 9 and 10 mines at once. And so it was pretty much instant death unless you got out of there before they blew.
Right.
So that's the way pretty much everybody did their castle defense. So now they realize that they are severely overpowered, so the new patch has decreased their explosion radius down to the size of the glue mines and the corrosion mines.
Okay.
So now when you land in them, the most you'll ever get blown up by is 3 or 4 tops. So the downfall to that is that fire mines don't kill anybody anymore at all.
And now you have to rebuild all your defenses.
Yeah, so I wanted to test it, so I actually made a fire mine trap like everybody had before. And just for fun, I purposely used my archer, which is the one that takes the most damage. Like, doesn't withstand the most damage, but like dies the quickest.
Okay.
I took him and I pretty much purposely ran him into the center of my fire mine trap and just stood there, and he only went down by half health. So it's it's impossible to kill somebody with a fire mine trap now.
So don't do it.
Yeah, so I put out 3 new videos since then with 3 new designs that have 0 fire mines, and the first 2 had some pretty good kills, and the one that I'm making a video for, actually I just made the video for, so I will have that out tonight, is actually got me, I'd say I'm winning probably about 70 to 80% of my attacks.
Cool.
So it's
Nice.
doing really, really well. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just a whole whack of Mighty Quest for Epic Loot and a little bit of Hearthstone.
Right on.
And yeah. We got to get another Hearthstone battle on the go there, Dave.
Oh, yes, we do.
Mhm.
I think maybe we all need to get a little bit of Hearthstone battle on the go, considering
I
we're
would-
all kind of indoctrinated at this
I
point.
would agree. I would definitely agree.
Yep. We'll have a scrub
Let's do
league
it.
where it's me, Mark, and other Dave, and then you two can just play on your own.
Oh, that's an ingenious idea. They should make it so you can temporarily combine decks and have like a 2-on-2.
I thought that'd be awesome. Or not even
They-
2-on-2. You just have your own decks, but you're playing 2-on-2.
They were doing they are going to do a 2-on-2, but I don't think that's slated until like winter. They wanted to have this expansion, the adventure one. Did we even talk about that?
No.
Hold the phone. Oh my god. So there's a curse of something from World of Warcraft coming out, and there's like 35 new cards or something. Don't laugh at me.
Cards.
No, no, no.
35 cards.
35 is a lot considering how many cards are actually in the game.
So
I
there's a new
think you get, like,
expansion
4
that's
booster
coming
packs
out
for Magic
in the
and you get
summer,
50
I
cards.
think. I am linking right now. But anyway, so this is coming out in the summer, and there's supposed to be another one that's just like cards, kind of like I guess just like Magic does, just where they release like sets of cards throughout the year, or any other TCG. And I think that one's supposed to have 100 or 200 cards in it. There's somewhere between there. So that's actually a pretty sizable increase. There's no like adventure mode or anything like that, but it's supposed to all be released at once, and you just get cards through the regular means. So
This
that's
is
really
where
cool.
card games get real difficult for me because I want to own everything. And
What do you
We
think
all-
happened to my Severance?
We all know about your magic card fiasco.
can we,
Austin,
can
I
we
have a
not talk
pack
about
of-
Magic cards for the love of
I haven't
God?
even opened these. I didn't even open them yet. I bought them. I didn't even open them. They're sitting
Good.
right here.
Good.
Ugh.
Don't do it.
There is one thing I wanted to say about the Mighty Quest is that so I'm really happy up until now because it has never been a free to play it has never been a pay to play game or pay to win, sorry. I still say it's still not a pay to win because I can still beat somebody's castle, but there's this one boss that they came out with. His name is Firely, and the only way you can get him is if you purchase one of their packages, which is like I think the cheapest one is $9.99, and then
Nope.
there's other ones. So
Good game.
if you don't if you don't spend the money, you can't get that boss. So it's not like something you can unlock in the game. They didn't give you a second option where you have to kill this many castles and then you'll get him. It's like you have to buy him. And he's kind of overpowered because he does a slam on the ground which knocks you down, and then he breathes fire on you if you don't get up fast enough, and the fire pretty much will kill you.
Oh,
So you can still get past him and you can still beat the castle, and I've found tricks to get past him and have him not do the stomp on me and all that, so I've learned ways around him, but he is by far like the most overpowered boss in the game, and the only way you can get him is if you buy him. So I'm kind of ticked at that.
That sucks. That's like if you could only get legendaries by paying money.
No, it'd be like you can still get bosses, so it'd be like you can get legendaries, but there was one legendary card that ruled all legendary cards, and you had to buy it.
Yeah. That's why I think
Like the
Hearthstone
One
is
Ring.
fine.
You can get any of the other 7, but if you want the one,
you have to be smooth.
You have to pay.
you have to pay.
You need 1 million gold.
So what have you been playing, Austin? It's been nice out there.
yeah.
You hit the tees at all, or?
That's one way to put it. So the golf club, which we talked about the last time we had a podcast, had just come out, and I have been playing a little bit more of that.
Hmm.
I've been mixing up my controllers, trying the PS4 controller, trying the a couple of different 360 controllers because they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So far, I like this game a lot.
Really.
Last couple of updates have had significant changes to the way the game. I think the way Unity's handling the engine, it plays a lot better on my system. But they've been having some tweaks. So like this last patch that came out, the bug report or the patch notes, it's one note that says, "Hey, we broke the slider for your shot distance. So when you're actually, you queue up your 5-iron and it's 180 some odd yards, you can change the elevation of the shot and it would drop or lower the distance. That slider doesn't work anymore, where
Mhm.
it corrects the shot, but you don't see the distance change. That is a big problem because if you're used to measuring out your shots and being like, okay, so I know it's 90 yards to the hole and this shot is 99, so I can raise the elevation and drop it 9 yards. You can do that. Now you're doing it from memory. It's kind of made me a better player at the game, but overall, I think it's an effective way to kind of practice the shot system. You can tell they're still tweaking things. Some of the shot types have changed. Flop shots are a little tougher to pull off now. The pitch shots are way easier to pull off. But you can tell it's a work in progress. The big thing is I've played a couple of courses, so there's a lot of really neat player-made courses that are really well made, difficult, like old school you would see in a Tiger Woods game, golf courses. Lots of tricky water hazards and stuff like that. The big thing is I've seen a couple of wacky courses where the first shot is all the way uphill, like 300 yards, and it gets to the top, and the ball rolls for 10 minutes, and your shot ends up being like 900 yards to the hole.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a video where we look at one of those courses, a couple of holes there, and I'm gonna play through another on the next patch whenever the next patch comes out, and we'll take a peek then. I like it, and I think it's gonna be a good exercise of, you've got your golf games like there's the free ones that are browser based. There's Tiger Woods, and then there's this, which is a simulation style golf game. I really like it, and I think HB Studios has a hit eventually when it goes full. But it's good to have a community behind you, and they seem to have that.
How do they do the
from-
power swing?
Sorry,
How do they set up the amount of power you use in a swing?
it's all analog stick.
Oh, okay.
So there's no 3-click or there's no power meter. It's the amount of backswing you put in and the amount of forward momentum.
So
you
more
push through.
realistic than
It's realistic in terms of the way the golf.
if I hold this club up here for 10 minutes, it's going to super power charge, and then I'll super sand the ball next door.
I wish. You'll get 100% power, I think, but there's a bit of a timing game. So even if you stall in your backswing, you don't get full power out of it. It's meant to be a fluid motion.
Yeah.
Course in one, Mark.
I'm really excited with what I've been seeing about this.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get it, A, because I'm excited about it,
Mhm.
B, because I'd love to support the local developer.
Yep, and I think it's one of those situations where they're listening to the community, and they're certainly doing what they can to improve the game already. I mean, obviously they want to make a good retail product, so I think it's time for us maybe to reach out to HB and have a chat with them about what's going on. But certainly I think they've got something brewing here that's going to turn into something much more bigger than maybe they expected it to be.
Cool. I'm excited to see how it develops.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes on it for sure. I'm going to keep playing it. I went through an internet outage this week. There was a maintenance problem in my building, and
I'm surprised you're still alive.
I know, I barely made it. So, like, I was looking through the games on my computer, and I was like, what am I going to play? Diablo, I need to be online. I can't play. I could play Dota bot matches. I did a little bit of that. And then I was like, I wonder if I can play the golf club. Then I was like, oh, I can't play any of the player-made courses. Maybe I can make my own course. But then I just loaded it up, hit play, and it was just generating courses for me. And I was, oh, okay, that gave me something to do. And, play through for 45 minutes to an hour. So, yeah, it's good.
Nice.
It's good. Like Dave, I cracked into Reaper Souls. I talked about that last podcast. I think I was saying I was going to get into it, and I did. I finished the campaign mode very early this morning and dove into rifts and everything else this afternoon. So Dave kind of already talked about it. I like Diablo. I don't want to burn out on it, and this is a good way to kind of spice things up. We didn't mention they have announced the Ultimate Evil Edition, which is coming to
I
PS4
was
and
waiting
Xbox
for
One
some of them
in
to
the
mention
summer.
that.
Yeah, so there will
Yeah.
be Diablo 3 on the next-gen consoles, which I think I will probably pass on. But what I
Yeah.
would love to see is a tie-in with. I want to be able to play with a controller on the PC.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm still rather mixed on whether or not I'm going to get it on the console. I mean, I was talking to this with again Corey, and he's like, "Well, you have it on 360, you have it on PC, and you're going to buy it again on console." I'm like, "Well, technically, I got the PC and 360 version, on the house, so I may. It depends on how much I play it right now, because I don't want to burn myself out on it. And the riffs are fun, but after like a month of doing nothing but riffs, they get a little repetitive.
Yeah. It's one of those situations, Mark, where I think the summer's going to come around, and unless they've sweetened that pot a little bit more and gone, hey, there's
Yeah.
another class coming, I'm not buying another copy of that game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Don't look at the drop rates that they just released, because it'll stop you from wanting to play.
I'm not even going to look. So, Infamous, Second Son, I finished that up. My review is up on the site. I am toying with the idea of doing a video review, and
Yeah.
I kind of need to set up some stuff for that. However, Infamous is probably one of the best looking PlayStation 4 games I've played, and it is certainly one of the best games I've played in the last year.
The
But I wouldn't.
screenshots you've been putting up are making me very jealous.
And those are ripped right from the console. Those are share button screenshot.
Wow.
Like the image we have on the splash rotator on the front page of Nova Gamer
Mm-hmm.
is the spotlight, where it's just Delson in the spotlight. That's my background on my computer.
Wow.
I can play a game. I'm like, I really like that screenshot.
Yeah.
And it's easy. Infamous 2 is a game, or not Infamous 2, Infamous Second Son. Lags a little bit. The story doesn't necessarily deliver in all the right places, but I think it's a game that learned from the previous Infamous games in terms of it put together a vision where you start at the beginning. They kind of give you all the connecting points, but they don't necessarily push you to all the connecting points. You have to kind of want to go and do all that stuff. Clearing out all the zones got a little repetitive, but eventually, you go play a story mission that takes a half hour, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go beat up more DUP and
Dudes.
blow
Yeah.
up a bunch of stuff. So it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and I played that as a good guy all the way through the first time. Like I've played every Infamous game, and when I went back and played it as a bad guy, I went, why didn't I play this as a bad guy? I should have just blown everything up.
I felt that about every game where I go through playing good and then go back and play through bad.
But I always play the White Knight, man. I can't help it.
Yeah.
So
Mark was brutal. What was the two worst ones for you? Was Fable.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Mark always
Fable
Mark's like
2 was a nightmare.
Mark's like, I gotta be
I
the good
felt
guy, and then he's
guilty
like,
when I
why
did
can't I be
that.
the bad guy?
And when I played through as a bad guy, I felt guilty.
And what was the other one? There was another one that you were really big on being the good guy in, and I can't remember what it was now. And at the very
Oh,
end,
it was one of the Mass Effects, I'm sure.
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Mass Effect 2, my male shepherd was totally the White Knight, and female shepherd was the absolute just awful person.
For some reason, I always do that the same way as well.
Kicking people out of windows. Yep. And Mark, I remember you and I playing Fable 2 online and like murdering a town and kind of going, I feel really terrible about this. We shouldn't do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did.
All right. And then on the bus, I've been playing Bravely Default still, which is again the best Final Fantasy game in the last 10 years.
I'm very tempted to pick that up.
I kind of had an inkling the other morning. I don't know what happened. I had my morning coffee and I went, this art style looks really close to. There was a Final Fantasy game called The Four Heroes of Light.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to their Wikipedia page for that game, I realized that Bravely Default was just the sequel to that game, just rebranded. But technically, it is a Final Fantasy game. So
there you go.
Oh, before we move on, there's one game I've been playing that I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. I don't know. They came up with I just wanted to make the announcement because most people don't know, but they came up with this new thing called clan battles.
Okay.
And we got our clan up to like over 10 people now, and you need a minimum of 10. And once you have a minimum of 10 people, you can battle other clans of 10 or more people in their clan, obviously. And then You donate to other people in your clan during the preparation day, and that lasts 24 hours, and then you have a battle day where everybody's allowed to attack 2 of the opposing clans' castles, and then whoever gets the most stars, because you get 1 to 3 stars for every one that you kill. So whoever gets the most stars at the end wins, and whoever wins gets I think last time I got 450,000 bonus resources. So that's kind of cool. So you guys. So if you guys are in our clan, be sure to start your battles again. Although I think Mark uninstalled it.
No, it's still there. Just haven't touched it.
I have not installed it, and I will not install it.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Sorry, just since we're on the 3D,
Yeah.
Is anyone excited for a remake of Ruby Red and Sapphire Blue?
Kind of.
They're remaking them? I didn't know they were making them.
Yeah, the new Pokemon has been announced as remakes.
So they're gonna just do the same exact game but new graphics, or?
I'm sure they'll add a few dungeons, maybe add a few Pokemons.
Yeah, it'll be like when they redid all the other titles. So they always graphical update and add Pokemon.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. I think it's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are the official titles.
That's actually making me want a DS.
Titles. I love my DS. I do not regret it. It's always within arm's reach.
You're like, where is it?
Still there. Yeah.
It's always within arm's reach.
See mine, it's sitting right next to the Vita. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Guess what I've been playing on the Vita?
What have you been playing on the Vita? Nothing?
Free games that came out through PlayStation Plus. So.
Yeah. I hear Borderlands. Well, maybe we'll wait for it to actually come out. Borderlands 2 on the Vita. Technical letdown.
I will hold my judgment, as that's a Dave Lang joint. And I don't want to get yelled at from Chicago.
Yeah.
I have talked to a few people who have played Mario Golf, and they really like it on the 3DS last week. So that's some good news. I'd like to play that.
Getting new Yoshi's Island on 3DS. Getting that this week.
I'm not in on that.
No.
I've never liked any of the Yoshi games.
Yoshi's Island.
It's terrible.
What's wrong with you guys? I'm out of here.
Well, before you leave, Mark, before we get down to the news, I have a special present for you. So we're going to do emails in the middle of our podcast because...
well, that's unusual.
Well, no, because we usually don't get emails. So I guess the important thing is that we've offended somebody. So I wanted to air this live on the internet so that everybody can hear it. And I will start reading as of now.
All right.
Dear Nova Gamer crew, long-time listener but first-time writer. Firstly, I'd like to say how much I enjoy your podcast. As a filthy casual, I find it very entertaining, and it makes me want to actually check out games that are mentioned. In fact, if it wasn't for the podcast, I would never have checked out Path of Exile. John, you can take... Yep, there's... Someone listens. There's an issue I'd like to bring up. One of these other casual hosts, I believe his name is Mark Devitt, mentions how geology is better than engineering. How the hell? He continues. How the hell can a science that studies rocks be considered a real science? Quote, hey, look, some dirt is here. Give me some money. Really? What kind of science is that? My 6-year-old is very capable of identifying dirt and rock, and she didn't go to school for 4 years. Engineering, on the other hand, takes people's lives into their hands. To fly out to Alberta from Nova Scotia, you leave your house, and don't forget, thank a civil engineer, and drive your car, a mechanical engineer, to the airport, also a mechanical engineer, and fly to the oil sands where, if I recall, are large-scale vehicles that extract the oil from the sands. Once again, thank a mechanical engineer. Seems to me, to be a geologist, you have to thank a mechanical engineer. Finally, take your Xbox One and PlayStation 4s. They can be great platforms, but once Nintendo finally releases some top-notch first-party games on the Wii U, you guys will come back to the land that Shigeru Miyamoto built. Again, love the podcast. Drew. P.S. Maybe we should all work at a video store again.
Oh, now I know exactly where that came from.
So, do you have anything to say, you filthy casual geologist, to the
I do.
engineers of the world?
He raises a lot of good points, all of which would be useless without the oil and gas that said geologists have helped discover. And yeah, I really
help discover with what?
That's exactly what I do. I go out there, kick rocks around, drink beer, call it a day.
Dowsing rods.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, that's a
I
rock.
do feel I need I need to explain a little that there's a feud at Dow from the geos and the engineers, so it's just
Okay.
kind of bred into me
All right.
to be upset with.
It's okay.
I don't think
You
that's just Dally. I think
know,
there's a feud everywhere.
There is a feud everywhere.
I think you just need to defend geologists in their honor because it sounds like
Yeah.
the mechanical engineers have a one-up on you.
I
Oh,
can't.
a mechanical engineer. Now that's badass. And maybe a civil engineer, they can do whatever it is they do. I'm not sure, but mechanical engineer, that's pretty amazing. They build shit. It's
Wow.
more than I can do.
It's a lot of brown on your nose, and that's not from digging in the dirt.
I laughed my ass off at the Big Bang Theory joke about geology. Did you guys see that?
So we are scientists. We just go about it a full different way. We don't rely on math and equations. We
Did you
rely
see-
on intuition
Did you see the one where he
and
woke up?
knowledge.
Okay, Indiana Jones, we're moving on. We're just
Mark,
moving on. We're
just
just
like-
moving
Yes,
on.
I've seen it, John. I have seen it.
It's hilarious.
It's not that funny.
I want to emphasize if anybody wants to chirp on this conversation, you can send me an email. It's austin@novagamer.net, or you can use our general contact email, which is contactus@novagamer.net. We would love to hear from you, and hey, your email will get read loud and live on the podcast.
Put Mark on the spot, make him
That's
feel
right.
awkward.
That's right. It's okay. Last time I got email, it was something along the lines of, let's not get into it. It was rude, callous, and something about enlarging members. I don't know. We have enough members as it is, I think. So news. Hey guys, there's a lot of news that happened in the last month, but we're going to focus on some of the key stuff in the last week. The big one that we haven't really talked a whole lot about is that Microsoft is planning to release the Xbox One without Kinect at $399. So this is an interesting time as somebody who is on kind of the middle of the fence. While yes, I own a PlayStation, I am interested in buying an Xbox One. But the buy-in with that product for me was in the initial stages. It was the look, we're going to be always online. Everything's, there's no discs, there's no sharing any of that stuff. I was in on that. I kind of liked the way Microsoft's like, no, we're putting our foot down about it. And then they kind of backpedaled.
Yep.
Then they said, okay, we're going to make this thing about the Kinect, about the experience in the living room. We have a great first product with the Generation 1 Kinect, and we think we can transition it into being something a little more important. I think we all see the merit to using the Kinect to deal with your Xbox for the recording features. I know Mark uses that a lot.
I do.
And setting other commands. I use the Kinect to game on my Xbox 360 pretty regularly with stuff like Mass Effect, and I played Power Up Heroes and maybe some Dragon Ball Z games. I'm not going to lie. I like the Kinect. But without a Kinect, there's a couple of questions this raises. Is Microsoft now fighting for the we don't have enough of the marketplace? Or is this we don't have faith in that product? Or is this maybe the hurdle that is stopping people from joining in? But at the same time, as a consumer, this is me looking at it going, well, that major selling point of your product is now gone, and I need to spend another $100 down the line to get this? What's the deal here? Or as a developer, do I look at this and go, well, what about the pack-in on all those? Why are we going to build Kinect features for somebody that may not even have a Kinect in the first place?
Now they're dividing their user base, and that's a big
right.
issue. That's
right.
a big issue.
And you had this in the first place. Well, yes, they sold like 2 billion Kinects. Like the Kinect attach rate to Xbox 360s in the end was actually pretty well built because they marketed that thing so well.
Mm-hmm.
But developers didn't buy in because the idea was that, well, if there's a billion Xbox 360s out there, there's only 30, 40, or maybe even half have Kinects. Why would we develop features for it, right?
Exactly. And
So-
also the way I see it now is you're absolutely right. Like, well, why should we even bother with it?
Well, that's right. So there's kind of two standpoints on this, and some people go, Microsoft's doing the right thing by unbundling the hardware that people don't necessarily want in their living room, and that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the side of the argument that this is the death of Kinect. And Patrick Klepek over at Giant Bomb wrote a really interesting article about how the Kinect died in Uncanny Valley, where there's all this tech that sounds really cool and seems like it's very interesting, but when it finally comes out to the market, either it's not understood or people just don't, for lack of a better word, they don't connect to it.
Hey.
I see what you did there.
So I don't know. Like, is this just Microsoft being cautious leading into E3, or do you think this is like there will be a follow up in the next month where they go, okay, great, we're yes, we're unbundling Kinect, but you're going to see it for $50 down the road, and then the major bundle changes. Like, I haven't even seen a price point for the Kinect standalone, so who even knows if that's going to happen?
I'm hoping that this is honestly them sort of sticking it to Sony for the price jump in Canada, first of all, and second of all, to try and make it more competitive. Because, you're right, a lot of people don't understand exactly what the Kinect does. You look at what it did on the 360, and, it was cool when it first came out, but really, what did you use it for? Right? So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of users are like, well, do I really need a Kinect? And someone who's never had a console before has zero preference. The Sony is going to be the better deal because it's $100 cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And now $49 cheaper.
I think it's the Oculus and the PlayStation virtual reality. How there's Oculus and PlayStation that are both coming with virtual reality now, and Xbox isn't really doing anything with virtual reality. So I think they're going to try.
They are though. They're not. They're not announcing it, but they're talking about it. They're like, "Oh, we're developing it." Whether or not that's true, and it's not just them saying it.
I think that's one reason, but I think the largest reason is for people like me who I was like, you know what? I don't use the Kinect that often. I'm not one for taking screen captures, and I'm hardly on the Xbox. I'm mostly on my PC, but I would like to use the Xbox for some of its other features. So they might want to sell it to people who don't want everything the Xbox does, but just like to play some games and watch some videos and hook it up to your TV, so your TV becomes basically a smart TV.
I think it's more of what we've seen Microsoft do
this. I'll jot the time, gentlemen.
Yeah, 41 minutes exactly.
Yeah, 41.
41 minutes exactly.
It's okay, Mark.
Saw that one coming.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. You're a geologist.
Yeah. As I was saying, I don't understand how these newfangled machines work. They've been doing this since day one with the Xbox One. They announced all this really cool stuff, and then people are like, "Oh, I don't like it." So instead of sticking to their guns, they backpedal a bit, and then they backpedal a bit more, and then they're like, "Oh no, the Kinect! Everyone's going to use the Kinect. You're gonna love the Kinect." And then people are like, "Oh, we don't like it." So they're like, "Well, you don't really need it. You don't really need it." I don't know. It's just they've been taking this step. Yeah, they've been doing this since the start, really, of the Xbox One.
It's concerning to me as somebody who's interested to see where the actual tech goes and the games go, because what are developers are just not going to go. I think we're going to get just another run of Kinect games like we saw on the 360 that are okay. They're subpar.
Yeah.
There are going to be a few that really kind of crank out some quality Kinect games, but otherwise it's going to be the thing that you yell at your Xbox for and just go record that or snap
record
this
record this.
Turn off.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm disappointed. I was hoping to, see some cool Kinect titles.
But then again, I'd rather hold a controller. So.
Agreed. Same.
So let's shift away from them potentially toppling the market back in their favor to some good things they've done, like the gold paywall changes, eh, Mark?
Yes. So what they're announcing with is there's a bunch of changes coming in June, and I think the biggest one of them all is historically, if you wanted to use anything on the Xbox Live Gold, Twitch, YouTube, Netflix, anything like that, you needed a gold membership. And as of June, I want to say 1st, but they just say June, you no longer need that.
Long overdue.
Agreed. There's no reason why you should charge people for using those services.
Yep.
I don't have to pay I don't have to pay Dell to watch Netflix on my laptop.
Nope.
So it is long overdue.
Yep. So I mean, that's good. But there's some other stuff coming out of that too, right?
What I'm more excited about, because I'm going to have gold until Microsoft goes bankrupt, is the deals with gold, which they released, I want to say last year on the 360. It's recent, where once a week, once a month. I'm not sure the how regular it is, but if you have a gold membership, you save 10, 20, 30, 40% on a title today only. Sort of the Steam flash sale effect.
Yep.
Which I'm excited to see. And they're bringing Games with Gold to Xbox One in June. First two titles being Halo Spartan Assault, which I almost bought 2 weeks ago, and Max Curse of the Brotherhood, which again I almost bought when it was released. So I'm actually excited for this. I love the Games with Gold on the 360. We saw a lot of crap, but there were a few gems that came out that.
I mean, Dark Souls just got released on.
I know.
On Games with Gold for 360, so that's cool.
And who doesn't want free stuff?
I don't want free stuff.
Well, then you know what?
Take it away from me.
No,
Exactly.
Send me all the free stuff.
Yeah,
All the free
it's
stuff.
$59 a year for a membership. I've been saying this since the first Xbox. It's not that bad, in my opinion.
I agree. I still pay for gold.
Yeah, and I have, and I always will.
One.
Yeah, since the original Xbox One, the big green VCR.
Yeah,
and
I still
and
have
brute
one of
force.
those too.
Yeah.
All right, well that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that may affect all of us, because this is actually kind of breaking news, I guess, so to speak. YouTube is in talks to buy Twitch TV. So for those who are unfamiliar, which I don't think you would be if you're watching this on YouTube live right now, Twitch TV is a live streaming service that allows people to turn a webcam on and talk to the internet, but primarily it's used for gamers, in my experience, who are looking to broadcast what they're playing to the internet. This is a widely used service for mobile players, so the tournament scene in Dota and League of Legends uses it. But even when I play the golf club, my stream you see on our YouTube channel came from Twitch, where I streamed it live and then afterwards archived it onto YouTube. So Twitch has been growing rapidly in the last year. I think in April, Wall Street Journal had an article about this where they reported that in April there was a week where of all the traffic of live streaming on the internet, Twitch accounted for 44% of live streaming traffic, which is pretty crazy. There's something around the mark of 45 million unique visitors a month, and you consider stuff like Twitch Plays Pokemon had a constant million people watching it, and stuff like Dota's international tournament, the League of Legends tournaments that go on. This is big. The big question becomes, what about copyright? And this turns back into the whole YouTube partnership and where all that turns. Dave, do you have anything that kind of cropped up in your circles about this? Because I know you're kind of the big Twitch guy at all of us.
I mean, that's one of the things that I thought of first was, yay, that's awesome. The VODs for Twitch. There's going to be they're going to actually have categories and organize it way better, and it's not just going to be a mess of trying to go through the past 30 days of this awesome guy stuff. But then I realized, oh wait, people stream because they don't want to be hassled by, I say hassle, it really is hassled by copyright stuff. They want to be able to do what they want to do. If they want to have some music playing while they're playing a game, they want to be able to do that. And they give, for the most part, they give rights. Well, not rights, but they make sure that the artist is noted somewhere on the screen, in the lower left or wherever, which is usually fine. Now that Google owns it, or YouTube or whatever, will soon own it. It comes,
potentially own it.
Yeah.
Potentially own it.
It becomes right after they buy it, am I really going to want to use this service anymore? Are things going to be more forced on consumers?
Yeah.
Or, and the bigger part, forced on broadcasters, because right now Twitch is pretty open in terms of like allowing things like XSplit and OBD or OBS to work. Maybe I'm not saying they will, but maybe they just won't work all of a sudden, or maybe they're going to put much more constraints and make things a little bit more locked down and tight.
Everything goes to Google+.
What an awful world it would be if everything needed to go through Google+. But, I mean, I don't know. I see this as a good thing until they screw it up somehow. Like, I'm fine with how it looks, but it could go south if they try to take it too businessy. If they want to just, hey, we're going to take it over, we're going to give you guys servers and you do what you want kind of deal. Like if it's If it's a partnership like that, I'm fine with it. If it's a, hey, we're gonna take over, and now all of your broadcasters need to follow these rules, and content ID is now a thing on. Can you imagine if content IDs?
That would be horrifying.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're streaming like first 15 minutes of a new game. Let's just say, I don't know, Watch Dogs, and you turn on the radio and songs that you don't have copyrights to. Come on.
well,
Shut down.
here's the thing. People went to Twitch in the past, probably I would say probably the past 2 months since that Content ID new algorithm came out, and they're gonna go away from Twitch if it just follows them around. Like
Mhm.
why would you stay with that service if now that is also Content ID? Because it's so difficult, especially with Warner Brothers. And like I know a couple of Batman games that I did on my personal channel for YouTube. All of them are getting the music Content ID. A lot of Ubisoft titles, same thing. So, people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers on Twitch, well, maybe they won't want to be on Twitch anymore, and Twitch will lose revenue. I see it. It depends on how they're going to handle it the next, probably the month after it happens. How if they're going to incorporate all these algorithms and stuff. I like it for the servers of having the VODs be more organized, because I think that's where Twitch falls a little short. I know it's supposed to be
Indexing
streaming,
would be a
but
big improvement for sure.
yeah, the VODs. It seems like it's only like the past 14 days, and even then, it's really not organized well. So if there was a cool way where you could do that and maybe have like subscribers on Twitch, kind of like YouTube, I doubt they would do that, because then why would you need both services? But I didn't think about that. If they try to just turn Twitch into YouTube Live, oh God. I don't know. I see a lot of scary things happening because it's a major corporation that will do whatever it wants once it owns it. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm open to seeing what they want to do at least, or I'd be interested to see what the offers are right now.
Worst case scenario, they charge you for upload. You want low def, that's free.
Well, I don't even think we'll get that far. My big concern, I think, kind of lies with Dave is the Content ID system and the copywriting, because Twitch is kind of the Wild West in terms of that right now. They seem to be pretty lax, and if Google gets their hands on it, I have no doubt in my mind that at first it'll stay the same, and then eventually down the road it'll turn into all right, let's start rolling in changes, and those changes are going to be closer and closer, or they just incorporate live streaming into YouTube, and then that becomes a new YouTube feature, right? Like, I don't know. This is kind of the precursor, right? Like, we're doing this live on the internet. We are talking live. We're recording a podcast, but we're also streaming it out live to our YouTube channel. But we have nowhere near the flexibility we do on Twitch in this situation. So it's interesting. So Variety had said this had happened. Yesterday they had a news posted that said that YouTube was about to acquire Twitch for like $1 billion. But then this morning the Wall Street Journal had an article up saying that it was only a rumor, or that they're in preliminary talks. Twitch wouldn't comment on it. YouTube kind of went, yeah, we're kind of talking to them about it. So there's a lot of ability here, I think, to make progress with Twitch, but at the same time, it's also scary for somebody who uses the service.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I just think it's gonna be interesting to see again if they want to treat it as. I just hope that they don't try to incorporate it in Google Plus, or like try to, like they did with YouTube. I mean, they didn't mess up YouTube, but they did, I think, hurt it. So it would be interesting to see if they're just going to treat it as another thing that they own, or if they're going to try to incorporate it with Google Plus kind of deal. Because if they do that, then I'm going to hate it, because it's going to be another thing that people don't want to do. Forcing. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do if they buy it. So
interesting. Well, let's move on to some different news then. Ubisoft's gonna make Far Cry 4, guys. If we didn't expect that to happen.
I expected it. I'm excited.
I definitely expected that one.
1 was okay. 2 was terrible. I loved 3.
3 was
2 wasn't terrible. 2 wasn't terrible. But let me rephrase that. I just didn't like 2.
3 also had boobs in it.
3 had boobs.
Apparently,
and a sex scene.
Dave didn't know that because he's underage and he had to play.
Did anyone finish the 19. Game? Do you know how the game ended?
I couldn't finish it because there was a graphics error that happened on like Christmas Eve.
Because you were under 18.
Yeah,
Probably.
it went,
It was.
Dave, how old are you? And you said, I'm under 18. And it went, you can't see the end of this game because there's boobs.
Can I spoil the ending? It was pretty
Yes.
extreme.
Guess what? Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. So the ending, I can't remember the chick's name, but the one that's sort of mentoring you the entire time, she wants your child in her. So she drugs you, throws you on a bed, starts going at it, and then stabs you as soon as you release.
That's right.
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
Well then.
And I felt really awkward playing that with
That's right.
my wife upstairs. I'm like, wow, this is-
Yep.
I hope no one walks down right now.
It's a little concerning.
No, 3, I loved 3. So if they can expand on 3, making it even more customizable, more open world, more choices, hey, I'm all for that.
What if this means we get another Blood Dragon?
Hey, I'll play Blood Dragon 2. There was so much 80s awesomeness in that. It was awesome sauce. It was radical.
It was radical.
Awesome sauce.
Radical is, I think, a better term for that.
It was
Haven't heard of Awesome
bodacious.
Sauce in a while.
So Ubisoft's press release says this is coming November 18th for
Mhm.
PC, PS4, PS3, Xbone, and 360. You're going to find yourselves in Kryat, Kirat, a breathtaking, perilous, and wild region of the Himalayas, struggling under the regime of a despotic, self-appointed king. So it sounds like you're just fighting Voss again, but in the Himalayas this time.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm
Austin,
game.
do you
Well,
know the definition
I
of
just-
insanity?
Doing
do
the
know the
same thing
definition
over
of
and over.
insanity.
I know. Although I'm curious, there's a theme. Like the first one's like genetic mutation. The second one, you are suffering from malaria. The third one, you're constantly high. So I'm just
Yes.
wondering what the mind-altering event will be for the fourth one.
Oxygen deprivation.
There we go. You're permanently hypoxic.
Okay. Calling it now.
Constipation.
We are like a month out of the presser for this. If this is the gimmick for Far Cry 4,
Hypoxia.
I win. Period.
All right.
Have you guys
Deal.
ever seen
Done.
Cranked with Jason Statham? It's basically going to be like Cranked.
Dude,
Yeah.
if they made a Crank video game, I would totally be in.
I would buy the
Crank.
Super Ultimate Edition.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I want the one with the fake heart built right into it and the taser that you're like on your tongue, right? Like
Yeah.
that was the best scene in Crank 2. So
Oh, it's
Amazing.
so good.
I saw that in the theaters. It was amazing
Yeah,
with my
was
dad. My dad
epic.
thought it was the best movie too. So what does that tell you about the Flahertys? So
There you go. You
I
guys
guess
are
we're going to see
awesome.
more about that during the Ubisoft media briefing,
Yeah.
which will be interesting. For all of our Halo friends, because I know we have plenty of them, Engadget's saying that we may be seeing a Halo Master Chief collection coming to Xbox One this year.
Mm-hmm.
This would be specifically around a collection of Halo 1 through 4. They'd be HD remasters, kind of like the collector. What was the name of the Halo?
Anniversary Edition.
Yeah, Anniversary Edition. Is that what it was? Unclear if ODST or Reach will appear because Master Chief's not really in them. Other than that, Microsoft has declined to comment on this, but it seems to be that there's rumors speculating, and we don't tend to typically report rumors.
Yeah.
I just thought this was interesting from the sake of, it's getting to be E3 time, and all this random stuff starts popping up about what people are going to...
It's about
display.
time. I'm surprised they haven't done something like that already. Just
Well, and remember the original Xbox One media briefing, it was all about football, 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 football. Halo TV series. What's a good way to promote your TV series? Cross-brand with a video game. It worked for Defiance. No, it didn't
Yeah.
work for Defiance at all. That game is ridiculous.
no, I think it's gonna be price point for me.
Yeah, if they go $40,
I'm all over it.
yeah. If they go
I'd do
$60, no, you're
No.
crazy. Yeah. That's ridiculous. John, would you play Halo 1 through 4 again?
It depends. One, if they redid the graphics.
Which they've already done, so you're
already
already
done.
getting the remaster version.
Okay, so one. I'd say probably 1 and 3.
Okay. I would.
I'd do them all again.
I think I would probably play Halo 2 again.
Yeah.
I've played Halo 3 enough times to kind of go, I don't need to play Halo 3 again.
I beat it on Legendary, whatever it is.
I vividly remember nights of us playing Halo 3 multiplayer and wanting to rip the controller in half, so I don't want to play Halo 3 again.
That was a dark time.
I think we
That
also
was
all
that was a
remember.
very dark time, Mark. We did some
Yeah.
terrible things to people on the internet.
I do. I personally apologize to everyone I teabagged.
I have not, and I refuse to. They still liked it.
I Titan bag now.
Oh,
So.
ooh.
That's,
Is that a medical problem or?
It's as unpleasant as it sounds.
it just makes me think of that South Park episode. Everybody has cancers in their genitals and they're bouncing down the street.
I think I've missed that one.
I think I
remember
missed
that
that
one.
one too.
I remember that one.
Well, I'm glad there's a connection there for at least two of you.
Yes.
Um,
Speaking of cancers,
yeah. Speaking of cancers, Star Citizen. Hey, that's a cancer.
it is.
I think I've talked a little bit about Star Citizen before, the hangar mode stuff, because I'm in on the Kickstarter. I'm part of a group of friends who all want to play this. This is the big space sim that's made like $40 million in donations.
Mm-hmm.
They're releasing their Arena Commander, which is like their dogfight module, which is like really the first time I'll be able to fly a ship. I don't think there's been another way to fly the ships up until now, but it's rolling out in such a weird way. They have a huge blog post available with this. I will link to it on Twitter. It's got like bot mode at first, and then eventually players will start being able to dogfight with each other, but it's not all at the same time. Star Citizen is one of those games where they showed it off some stuff at PAX, and it was so rough. Like you could tell they worked on it right until the time like the curtains went up to get it into a working spot. This game won't be ready for another 2 years. There's no way. But it's neat to see them rolling out tech demos, I think, to people, but promising that this is going to be like, oh, this is what the final game is going to be like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you guys? Like, does this resonate? Does Star Citizen mean anything to you guys? Because
I've been looking at it. I'm curious, but I'll give it another year or two to mature.
Yeah.
It's like a wine. I see it. I'm like, that'll be good eventually.
I put my $40, whatever it was, in through Kickstarter just to get the base ship, and was like, I'm happy because eventually I'll get this game for $40. That
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems okay.
We'll see.
The last piece of news I have is Wizards of the Coast of Magic the Gathering fame to go, hey, this is a callback to earlier. Remember we talked about Magic earlier, right, Dave? Wizards
did.
Wizards of the Coast is going to sue Cryptozoic over their Kickstarter card game called Hex. Now, I've talked about Hex in the past as I've been in the beta. So Wizards is suing Cryptozoic, saying that they've made nearly an identical copy of Magic the Gathering. I kind of went, that seems kind of harsh. I should probably take a look at this, because why aren't they suing Blizzard?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? They've got a pretty close game to Magic. I played a round of it just before we started recording tonight, and it still feels a lot like Magic. The cards display, like the whole. There's only so
Even
many
the
ways
art.
Yeah, the art, but you can't present a card game any differently, I don't think. Like there has to be some tropes here, right? Like your cards show at the bottom, your character's off to one side, or you've got 20 hit points, and the way you damage another character is by targeting the player you're playing. Like it just seems there's
How
tropes.
many other ways can you do this?
That's right. It's not like I'm going to attack their mana pool. It's doing the same. The interest here, I think, for Wizards is potentially that there's buzz from players going, is this a Wizards prop? Like, is this just another game of Magic? Like, what is that? Some people don't understand the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Hex made like $500,000 through Kickstarter, and did really well, and they're putting out a solid product. Like the game's really polished so far. My concern is, if Wizards is going to chase after them and go, oh well, they're clearly aping mechanics from Magic, why aren't they going after Blizzard and saying, well, so are they?
Oh, Magic was
Blizzard's
out
too big
before
of a
Blizzard.
company.
Plus, Magic was out before Blizzard.
No, but that's what we're saying here. Why isn't Magic going after Blizzard?
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Wizards of the Coast owns Magic the Gathering. They're under that banner. So Wizards of the Coast is I want to say their parent company is Hasbro, and they own Wizards of the Coast owns like all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and they own Magic the Gathering, and Hero Clicks, I think, is their product as well.
Well, they could
And
have an agreement with Blizzard that Blizzard says, we want to make this game, we'll give you 2% of the profits.
sure, I mean, there's certainly that. You never know what kind of backroom deal exists. It just seems kind of weird that they're going after a game that's not even out yet when there's a game on the market that is available now, free to everybody, and is able to make cash for Blizzard, and they're kind of going, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
I'm
seems.
curious to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this because
Yeah.
I like Hex and I like Magic the Gathering, and I think having some more card games in the market doesn't hurt anybody. Competition always makes everybody work harder. So that's always it's always too bad to see someone as big, like the big, Magic's the big corporate beast at this stage, right? They've been around for 15 years, and there's no showing of them slowing down. They've got new product coming out in June, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why do you need to go after Hex other than money?
Exactly.
So,
Well, didn't they used to make the cards for them? What is it? What's the company name again?
Cryptozoic?
Yes.
They
I'm
might have been
guaran-
behind. I know they
I'm
might have been behind the WoW cards.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking. I know that. Oh, yes. Because people who make Hex used to make WoW TCG.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's also a thing. I don't know. I think there's like two. Yeah, you guys already talked. This is dumb. I think it's dumb, really, really dumb that they're suing. I mean, the way that you can do things in card games, there's like Hearthstone, and then there's Magic, and then everything else is slightly different. But I mean, you don't see Riot suing Valve, like over Dota and LoL. They're both the same thing, but they just exist in different universes, and I don't know. I think it's weird that they would, you know what I mean? That they would try to sue over doing the same thing and not being as successful, and you guys aren't even launched yet, but we want all of your monies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's weird,
Just this isn't the first lawsuit that I've heard of this week. Philips is actually going after Nintendo for patent infringements, and I don't want to throw out numbers here, but it goes back a few years for how far this has been going. They want damages plus a ridiculous percentage plus interest, and they
Right.
want to stop all Wii U sales in North America.
What?
I did see this, and I know you had messaged me
Yeah.
and said, "Have you seen this?" And I kind of went, "No." For
Yeah.
patent on tech, that's really interesting. I don't think that won't go anywhere.
I don't think so either, but I mean, Philips isn't exactly a little company saying, "Hey, you stole our information." So
Nintendo will settle with them. I don't think it'll be a big
yeah,
deal.
yeah. I'm curious. Very curious.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on because we don't necessarily touch on a lot of Nintendo stuff.
No, sorry, Drew.
Yeah, sorry, Drew. Hey, I hear Mario Kart 8 comes out this week. I hear it's great.
Oh, it's so good.
I hear it has turtle shells.
That's right. Actually, you know what? I've seen some footage of that on the internet.
I've never played a bad Mario Kart game. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
Maybe
hope
the one on the Wii.
somebody
Maybe
will-
the
no,
one on
wait,
the Wii.
No. Hold on.
I
Mario
didn't know
Kart on the
that.
Super Nintendo is fucking terrible. There, I said
Now.
it. Email me. Tell me what's
Now.
wrong with my opinion.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
N64 was easily the best.
Yeah, I
Yes.
N64 and then the DS version that came out when the
3DS
DS came
version.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
I don't
3DS.
I don't know, 3DS one was okay. I don't know. Mario Kart Wii, what the hell were they thinking? What was wrong? Like, why would you do that? It was terrible.
Mario Kart Wii was okay.
Mario Kart Wii is terrible.
That was terrible.
I am gonna email into this.
Go ahead.
That was
I'll
terrible.
do that. Guess what?
Do it.
Terrible Mario Kart games has terrible tracks. It's a bad game.
True. Fact.
Oh yeah,
Fact.
the tracks aren't the best.
Fact.
Fact.
Yeah. Fact.
You know what else we didn't talk about?
Science.
And I'm now having as I wanted to bring it up, it has disappeared from my head.
What?
I'm going to give myself a second and see if I can edit my way out of this in the podcast. But there was another piece of news that I wanted to talk about, and it revolved around Sony.
Yep.
No, I
Okay.
think it's gone. So I'm going to write down the timestamp of this.
Edit.
An hour 8.
And delete it.
7. Yeah, I might. Or if I come up with it, I'm just going to, edit in my own
Splice.
read of the news and then splice in all your responses from all your other news replies. And
There you go.
make it
Which
sound
is
great.
mine is interesting.
I,
Interesting.
I do just want to say that Magic, the core set for 2015, doesn't actually come out until the mid-July, Austin. So
Thank God. My wallet can stay safe for just a little bit longer.
I'm getting ready. As you can see by these cards that I bought for no reason and opened up right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Please
Sorry,
tell me
keep
more.
it-
Please
what
tell
is-
me more about the cards that you bought and opened.
A sacrifice another creature, regenerate this stupid min. Oh my God!
What else is in
So
that deck?
releases.
I got a lot of land. I got a lot
What
of
else is in
land.
there?
Some
Yeah, a lot of
brawlers,
land.
wayfinders. I got some minotaurs. I got some
Garbage.
pipers.
Garbage. You know what else is
Um,
garbage? They put an update out for Final Fantasy 11.
What?
Why?
Why would that come to your head right now?
Because it's terrible.
Because it's also garbage.
Still like Final Fantasy 11.
Isn't it the MMO one?
That is the original MMO.
Okay. I'm gonna blow all of your minds. I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
Well,
Like not played a core series spin-off. Nope.
all right.
Yep.
You're dead to me.
Yeah.
I knew it.
That's okay. We'll get you
Oh.
caught up at some point. So let's talk about some new releases since my news bungle. So new releases. Last week we had Soul Sacrifice Delta, which is the re-release of Soul Sacrifice plus extra stuff on the Vita. Borderlands 2 also came out on the Vita. And because I wanted to say it, Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition came to the PC. Also, Super Time Force came out on Xbox One. Hey, Mark, what's Super Time Force? You familiar with that? That's an indie game, right?
I am not. I've seen a lot about it actually, and I've thought about picking it up.
Oh, arcade game. I'm sorry, not indie game, but it's an arcade title.
Yeah, it's an arcade.
Okay.
Maybe get back to me next podcast, and hopefully I'll have more information.
Cool.
All right.
This week we're looking at Drakengard 3 is coming out on PlayStation 3. Why? Wolfenstein: The New Order for PC, Xbox One, 360, PS4, and
I'm
PS5
waiting
comes
on
out
that one.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Transistor comes out for PS4 and PC. I really want to play Transistor. This is from the guys who did Bastion. So
Yes, I've heard about this.
looking forward to this. Really good positive vibes out of this from some of the sources around the web, so keeping an eye open for that. And Tropico 5 comes out for PC this week as well. Next week, Watch Dogs.
Can't wait.
Finally.
Can't wait. I haven't paid for it.
Good. I look forward to hearing what you think of it. It's PS3, 360, PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
I wish my 360 didn't die.
Sly Cooper Collection comes out on the Vita. Ace Combat Infinity, which I believe is the free-to-play PS3 exclusive. I'm going to take a look at that because I love Ace Combat.
I love Ace Combat.
Mario Kart 8 is coming out for the Wii U. I think it's a pretty safe bet if you like Nintendo and you have a Wii U, buy this game because there's been nothing else to play, and it looks absolutely amazing. And then, John, what's happening with
Shroud of the Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar? Because I always see
I
Soda.
was like
always think
Star
Dota.
Wars old.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, I always think Dota whenever I see it.
Yeah.
Soda.
Shroud of the Avatar is coming out with its pre-alpha release 6. They have announced that their full beta entry in October, maybe November, might be pushed ahead to December or January because they want to start focusing on improving the graphics and everything. This release, if people want to check out the videos, we'll have the video coverage on it like we do with every release, and this one is supposed to be... They're going to be adding in things like you'll be able to trade within the game now. They're going to actually add in effects from the combat because last release they added more combat skills, but there was no effects like knockbacks or stuns or other things like that. Anyways, they're going to add in the actual effects, so when you hit somebody, it'll actually knock them back and yada, yada, yada. So that's going to be added, and they really, really, really want to focus on keeping up with today's graphics and combating today's games. So they're going to put out they said for the next couple of releases they're going to be improving graphics dramatically for each release. So I'm excited to see the graphic changes they're going to make on that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Well, that's going to wrap us for the Super NovaCast.
Yeah.
Dramatic
Yeah.
pause.
Yeah.
Dramatic pause. Dramatic pause.
This is where we wait to see who starts it.
That's right. That's right. For this week, it's always a pleasure. Make sure you subscribe and follow our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/NovaGamerCrew. John, as always, is dumping out all kinds of awesome videos about Mighty Quest for Epic Loot and castle defenses and all that cool tactic stuff. If you guys are into that, make sure you're checking it out. I'm going to have some golf club stuff up this week, and if I get my recording stuff out, I am going to have some PlayStation 4 footage to share with the channel.
I'll have some Titanfall stuff up.
Oh yeah, Mark's got Titanfall stuff coming as well. So maybe some Hearthstone if we get around to it. Dave and I have been playing a lot of Diablo, so maybe we'll do something with Diablo.
If we can find a way to like easily and conveniently do that, yeah.
Yeah, we might throw something together. Other than that, we're still hanging in there. Make sure you check out the website, of course, novagamer.net. You can read my infamous review, which is up there now, plus all of John's stuff for Shard of the Avatar and Mighty Quest are up there as well. And subscribe or like us on Facebook, where you can get a daily laugh from us as we post comics and jokes every day, plus some breaking news as it comes out. Usually we throw that stuff up there, and you can get alerts for when we go live and stream and do all this fun stuff. So thanks for hanging out for the for Supernova Cast 23 on behalf of the crew. We appreciate all your support. Make sure you send us emails, as always. We will read them live. I'm going to keep doing this because I like to talk. And
you like to put Mark on the spot.
I like to put Mark on the spot.
I should have said this earlier. Geologists are like the artists of the science world. Not exactly.
Yeah, except for it took you that long to come.
I know.
Yeah, and
Because
bring
I'm not
in
quick on my
emails.
feet.
You know what? Because you guys are the artists of the science world,
We're also the lowest paid.
it also took you the longest to come up with a reply, which sounds like an arts degree.
It took me 7 years to do a 4-year degree. Mark out.
All right, guys. For this podcast, we are done. For now, Nova Gamer.
Out.
You know what I hate? Like, no matter how synchronized we are, we say out. I know that Austin's gonna tear it apart.
I split it. I don't care.
Away.
I always like just take him out just a little bit. So,
Awesome. All right. I gotta run, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Mark.
No worries.
See you, Mark.
So if you guys can again save those as waves, that would make my life way easier.
Do you want them from the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean?
I remembered what news I wanted to talk about too, and it was that they announced Unreal Tournament.
You want a G10 wave? Or sorry, 610 wave? Yeah. Oh no, never mind. Microsoft signed 16-bit PCM.
Yeah, just a wave.
It's a massive wave. Yeah, I saw that. It's like the open source one or something.
Yeah, it's open source, which is really neat. Maybe I might actually get in on that. I know how to build things in 3D Studio Max.
Well, this is NovaCast
23. Oh, hey, we are still streaming to the internet. So, hey, YouTube, thanks for hanging in, and goodbye, viewer, whoever you are. Everybody wave. Wave.